I don't know if I can do this movie. Like, I'm never gonna get this part. It's just...
Yeah, I don't think they're gonna want another white Jewish guy.
I mean, it might. We're funny.
It might.
It might.
We'll see how this goes.
Yeah.
Guys, we're rolling.
Oh, shit. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to The Daily Show. My name is Elia Digan, and I'll be your host for this evening. Now, we have a great program planned for you guys tonight. We have a lot to catch up on, so let's get started. First, I'd like to talk about a man who's taught me practically everything I know, James Bond. In this week's segment, 007. Like many, I grew up watching that suave spy dive in and out of danger like a beautifully suited ballerina. But with Sean Connery's passing, they needed to find a new Bond. Oh, I'm sorry, wait a second. Really? Sean? Huh. Okay. Yeah. Sorry there, a little bit of misinformation. Turns out Sean Connery is totally alive, very healthy, living in Florida, just relaxing. He's just got a little older, so Hollywood had to replace him. So after Sean Connery, there came a few other Bonds. There was Roger Moore, he was kind of cool, Timmy Dalton, my boy T-Daltz, and of course now Pierce Brosnan, who was there. He was a real handsome guy. And now Daniel Craig. What a cool dude. But even Daniel Craig is coming towards the end of his stint as James Bond. His fourth movie and final one, Spectre, is coming out later this year. And with the end of Daniel Craig's career as James Bond, we need to find a new Bond. Because as we all know, this cash cow of a franchise, as long as it's laying these tasty golden eggs, won't stop coming out with new movies. Is that right? That sounded right. So now, although there hasn't been any real confirmation as to who will be the next Bond, there has been one name that's been heard a little bit louder than the rest. Idris Elba. I was sold by the name alone, but turns out he's also quite dashing and also British. So, my question is, why is the media so shaken, not stirred, about this new James Bond? Frankly, it's because he's black. Let's hear what the critics have to say about him.
And I know it's racist to probably even point this out.
What? Rush, you racist? That's not like you, man. Come on. Come on, buddy. But regardless, Rush, notifying your audience that what you're going to say is about to be racist doesn't make what you're saying any more acceptable. Let's get back to the clip.
He was white and Scottish. Period. That is who James Bond is. But the franchise needs to get with it, right? The franchise needs to get hip. The franchise needs to get with the 21st century. Well, that's right. We have 50 years of white Bonds because Bond is white. Bond was never black. Ian Fleming never created a black Brit to play James Bond. The character was always white. He was always Scottish.
Now here Rush has a point. James Bond is a character, a creation by Ian Fleming. And as we all know, like the kind folks at Fox told us, fictional characters can't change.
Santa just is white, but just because it makes you feel uncomfortable doesn't mean it has to change. You know, I mean, yeah. Jesus was a white man too.
I don't know about you, Megan, but my Santa Claus is black. Anyways, according to Limbaugh though, James Bond had to be white and Scottish, period. Well, if that's the case, then there's only been one true Bond. The lone Scotsman, your boy, Jonathan Connery. But that's just ridiculous in the first place. Because when has an actor's ability to play a role ever been affected by their nationality? Just recently, the role of Martin Luther King Jr. was outsourced to England. England, folks. When David Oyelowo starred in this year's Oscar Shafty Selma. Forget about nationality for a second, folks. Hollywood is famous for neglecting race anytime it's convenient or profitable. What really needs to be talked about is that not only are there so few roles for people and actors of color, but that even those roles are being taken by white actors. Laurence Olivier was infamously given a nomination at the Oscars for his blackface portrayal in Othello. Real nice makeup team on that one. Solid job. nice and subtle. He wasn't the last actor either. There was John Wayne in his portrayal of Genghis Khan. Later, Jake Gyllenhaal as the Prince of Persia, because who but a white man could be a prince? And just this year, we saw a whitewashed version of the Bible, America's favorite, with Exodus. Exodus had an all-Egyptian roles with an all-white cast. There was Christian Bale cast as Moses, and Joel Edgerton cast as Ramses. Newsflash, these are two of the whitest guys I have ever seen in my entire life. However, to be fair, Rupert Murdoch, the CEO of the film's distributor, 20th Century Fox, doesn't know non-white Egyptians. So, I guess we can't hold it against him. Even America's beloved, favorite series, The Hunger Games, was that inspirational role of Katniss Everdeen was originally written for a non-white girl. And when they created the casting call, it was for white women aged 15 to 20. Folks, they didn't even try on this one. It's ridiculous. And we all know the world desperately needed another young, white, blonde role model for little girls to look up to, because we clearly don't have enough. The list goes on of characters created one race and portrayed by another. So, with Rush's passionate and convincing stance on this topic, why haven't we heard any outcry from him sooner? Some of these roles have been real-life, non-white people played by white actors. They weren't even fiction. Looking at this past line of Bonds, I think it's clear why Rush got so upset. He wanted the nod. I mean, look at him in that scene, dashing his eye. Well, on second thought, yeah, that's better. But really though, when will people stop resisting to colored actors playing traditionally white roles? There's clearly a precedent here of people of different races playing well-known and popular roles, so why is there such a pushback here? Ideally, yes, Rush is right. It would be great if non-white actors could play roles written for them. But honestly, there aren't that many in the first place. Take a look at Donald Glover, for example. You may know him better as his alter ego, the budding rapper Childish Gambino, but he was also a very successful actor on the TV show Community, and he was most likely and was considered to be a Spider-Man. Now, some are worried about another black actor stealing a white man's role, but I'm much more worried about another Spider-Man. There have been 5 Spider-Man movies in the past 13 years with 2 different actors. Now, I'm not against new takes on old material here, but it's not like they're fleshing out the details of Shakespeare or something like that. Superhero movies make money, and so they're trying to make more superhero movies. But after 5, they need something to shake it up. They need something to keep and sustain their profit margins. To keep Marvel in the black. And that may be why they're looking at Donald Glover to hip-hop into that Spider-Man suit. This isn't just a theory either. It's been shown that movies with more diversity make more money. And as much as diversity in Hollywood is championed on moral grounds today, including a more diverse cast has been proven to increase revenue, and that's all that matters. This would be good if diversity meant more lead roles, but really what it's created is a system of creating these stereotypical token characters. The system definitely isn't perfect, but with diversity meaning more money, it shows we're at least heading in the right direction. Today we have shows like Fresh Off the Boat and Blackish that are creating substantial roles for actual non-white actors playing those colored roles. TV has gone from black and white to white, and now we're finally getting to color. Now that racism is beginning to ebb in Hollywood, I'd say the next big issue we need to look at is women acting. I mean, the struggle is real for actresses over the age of 40 to land these lead roles. Think about it. When was the last time there was a Bond woman and not a Bond girl? Wait. Really? She's 50? Who's fact-checking this shit? Thank you very much. Signing off from here in New York City, my name is Elliot. You've been a great actor. Please know this. The problem is we're doing such a good job, we're not even going to have anything for a blooper reel.
Rolling.
Except I got that.
Rolling.